This is Negative Keyword Pro Elite. So we all know the importance of adding negative keywords to our campaigns, of looking through our search term report for more negative keywords. But one problem that comes up is that people are always searching in different ways. So when we look at our search term report, especially over a long period of time, most of those search terms are only showing up with 1 click, 2 clicks. Really not enough to be able to tell us whether that is worth keeping or not. Of course, sometimes it's obvious we need to add a negative keyword, but for those times when it's not obvious, when we really need that data, Negative Keyword Pro Elite comes in and solves that problem. What it does is it'll take all of the words that are showing up in our search term report and it'll combine that data. So rather than just looking at the exact words like we see in the report, it'll take whatever words are showing up from within those search terms and it'll tell us how those words are performing. So it works like this. First, you need to connect to your Google Ads account. And once it's connected, you will be able to see your campaigns in here. Okay, so I need to select this connection because this is the account that I'm using. And then I'm going to select the specific client account that I want to show here. And if you are not managing client accounts, if you're just using this for your own account, that's fine too. It'll work just the same. So now that I see all the campaigns, I can select specific campaigns here, or I can just check all of them. So I'm going to check all right now. And then I can set the date range however I want it. I'm going to go ahead and just do this year. I'll set the end date to yesterday instead of today and analyze. So now what I'm seeing are the results from that analysis. It's going to start here with the words that have cost the most. It's going to sort it by cost, but you can go ahead and sort it by any of these columns that you want. The one I'm most interested in is this cost per conversion column. So if I sort that from high to low, I can see that there are some words here that are costing a lot more than average, and in fact a lot more than our goal. So we see Invisalign, dentistry, care. These have produced a very small number of conversions at a high cost per conversion. So that tells me I might want to add these as negative keywords. And of course, that depends on how valuable some of these searches are to your business. Invisalign happens to be a more valuable search for a dentist, so we might not want to exclude it at this level. But what we can do is also look at the specific search terms that are connected to these words. So now I can see all these different search terms. And in this case, you can kind of get an idea that most of these dentistry ones are actually other businesses. They're competitors. So that makes sense why they're not performing very well. So then you can make the decision, do you want to get better at excluding competitor business names, or do you just want to go ahead and exclude the word dentistry? But this tool allows you to make that decision a more informed decision. Another thing we can do is look at 0 conversions. So if I check this box, now this is going to show us words that have produced 0 conversions. And this is sorted from high to low. So again, if we were to look at the search terms here, a doctor, for example, we can see that these are pretty much all searches for other dentists, other doctors. So it would be very safe to go ahead and exclude the word doctor, add doctor as a negative keyword based on those results. Now, another thing that I like to do with this tool that I've found valuable is sorting conversion again from high to low, but then going down and looking at which words are actually giving us a pretty good conversion, something that's lower than average. So for example, husky. This is a type of dental insurance provider. And we can see that's a pretty good cost per conversion. Now, in fact, this campaign is structured so that we already know that because there's specific ads for this. But if we did not know that, we can make that conclusion based on this data here. And the last thing I want to show you with this program is you can also export this information to a spreadsheet. So if you'd rather play around with this in Excel or a different spreadsheet program, you can just export it here and it'll go right into your spreadsheet. So that is Negative Keyword Pro Elite. As you can see, it's a very powerful and helpful tool, especially if you have an account with a lot of data over time. If you've never done anything like this, you can go into an account that's been running for a while, find a lot of negative keywords that you can add and give a nice little bump in performance to that account.